back here with another video, and this time we're doing a sort of tournament report. I played this deck this past weekend for funsies at locals because it was just a regular tournament, and I didn't want to play my other deck, and some of my other cards were not here because I let Frank Miller borrow them for Orlando, and I still haven't got them back from him. And shout out to him for shipping them back to me via mail, obviously since it's a mailman. But they should be in today, but that's irrelevant. I just wanted to go over a deck that I played and the changes that I made because I tested some other cards and I realized that I should have had these other cards in my deck, and my list wasn't perfect because I had to literally throw it all together at the last second right before tournament Saturday, and I haven't had much time other than work to be able to mess with my actual physical cards. But I want to bring it to you in the card by card and what's good about the deck and what the deck tries to accomplish. So we got Clash of Fates Son Goku, or the Son Goku, the Legendary Super Saiyan, which everybody remembers whenever he turned Super Saiyan for the first time. Alright, Burst 2 on the front side, and then you mill. So you mill 2, discard a green card, which is very specific for this deck, and then you draw 2 cards. So mill 2, discard 1, draw 2. So this deck is kind of pretty bad against Chinimba, but you can mitigate it by allowing your opponent to burst you and you're not really caring about drawing on the front side. But this is inherently a bad deck against Chinimba. But other than that, the deck is pretty solid, and I wanted to go over the card by card and why this deck is pretty fun to play against, especially quite a few of the decks that are being played currently, and how it can deal with it. So on the back side, Sparking 5, after you awaken, untapping 2 of your energies at 4 life. If you have a Krillin in your drop area, this card gains 5,000 power and double strike, and you obviously draw a card. So it's a 20k double strike on the backside. Every time I've ever attacked with him, besides like one time, and that was because the opponent was super aggressive, and I did not draw the tools to defend myself, I had a Krillin drop area. Or I could combo one with one from my hand, or end up blocking with one. So the way this deck tries to accomplish is setting up for Kaioken Son Goku. Now, the version I played on Saturday was not like this, and I didn't have all my cards on me, so that made it worse. So I had to borrow a few cards. So I tried the secret rare from this set 7, the the card that allows you to put a rebel for 5 and put 2 of their life in the drop area and kill them like that. But every time I drew it, it never came up, and it was just obviously a dead card, and I discarded it or charged it turn 1. Because the deck, either game doesn't last that long, or you just don't get to the point where you can do that. Defending with your life until you get to 5, and then exploding with Kaioken is just a lot better. If you don't know what Kaioken is the pseudo secret rare right here. It has deflect, 20 or more red or green cards in the drop area, which your entire deck is. You reduce the cost by 2. So you're basically cheating him in for 5. And when you basically take all your life, like your opponent's hand, discard as many cards you discard from your opponent's hand, and he gains 25k each time. So one time he was over 100,000. Or 100,000 even before I even comboed, and took 3 cards out of my opponent's hand, and he had dual attack and triple strike and couldn't be KO'd. That was against a Broly, green Broly deck. But I did lose that match because I could not defend well enough because my deck was not like this. So the way I changed it here makes the deck better. And there are a few ratios you can change inside some other cards to make the matchups a lot easier. But I wish I would have played this exact list. And my side deck wasn't there, so that made it a little worse. And I played the wrong super combo because I played Paragus super combo, which is not as good as this one in the deck. Paragus super combo is very powerful, but Paragus super combo does not basically be live on turn 2 every game, and you don't want to take life that early. So you want this on turn 2 to be live, and you to be able to defend yourself a lot easier. So this is a Sparking 5, which your leader bursts 2 and discards 1. So you automatically have 3 in your drop area on turn 1, then turn 2 you guaranteed to have 6. So basically you're in a time clock. In turn 5, you should have that many 20 cards in drop area, which every time I did that I been able to play him, I won, which is pretty cool. So one thing I realized when I struggled in this deck, I did not main deck anything to take life other than Shocking Death Ball in my main deck, so I changed that and switched it up to Force Saiyan combo because the deck card was very powerful in the deck, and it's red, so it'll help you rival your Gogetas, which is in the down here. I was also playing too many green, like solid green 10Ks. So, and I think I was playing 4 copies of this Goku. So I chopped that down to 3 copies, and then I chopped down my red-green count because I do need to see when I'm opening hand to make Vegeta the Cruel alive. But in reality, this deck will be a lot better this way. So key card in this deck, for the greater good, helps you stay alive. live with the burst or the discard, which is very powerful. You have a negate whenever you need it. Shocking Death Ball helps you get to stay alive from crazy attacks and live immediately on turn 2. And then you have Trunks Bridge of the Future, which helps you even further. So on your turn 1, if you play Trunks Bridge of the Future or Krillin, or you can play Raditz, which is a anti-aggression, because you want them not to be able to untap and be super aggressive with Senzu Bean in a lot of matchups, because they are just playing Senzu Bean to be aggressive, and you don't want that to be alive. So sometimes I was having 2 Raditz on the board, and yeah. So I was testing Urgent Kami in this deck as well, which is a green card, which you can discard off your leader ability, which is pretty cool and allows you to play Heroes Mafuba. But I would side those cards because I'd rather be able to hit off Trunks every time and have the pseudo same card, which is a Saiyan here. So he can add almost your entire deck. There's only 1 card in the deck that's not a Saiyan. Oh, sorry, a few. So how many cards? 12 cards in the deck that are not Saiyan. So he will hit almost every time, and if not, you're very unlucky. And he helps you achieve your win con on turn 5 and allow you to keep your cards in hand and defend yourself. So Trunks Bridge of the Future is very powerful in this deck, and I did not play it in my list, and I really was upset when I didn't play it because I left him in my house. So, anyways, so to the list, Krillin is a 1-drop draw card, and once you're on your backside, he gains 3 costs in every area, which is very important to note that you need to play him early, and he gains blocker when you get to your backside. When you block with him, you could trigger Final Showdowns on Goku. Comes into play, ignored and buried, kills anything. Super powerful. A lot of the Shinron decks can't deal with this Krillin, unless, especially when you awaken, their win cons just fizzle. But the thing is, Kaioken will take them out of your hand. But if you can get their life low enough, they can't Goji to you, then Kaioken you. So it's very hard for them to deal with. Which I'm speaking of the Purunga deck specifically. I did lose to it in Game 3 because I did not get myself to awaken, and I played too hard into a Purunga, the battle card. So I learned a lot from this tournament about this deck and how I would play it in the next tournament if I try it. The deck is very powerful. It's similar to the red-green Gogeta decks that are being played now, but doesn't rely on arrival as much. You have removal with Shocking Death Ball. Your main win con is just that 5-drop Kaioken, and once you play it, you pretty much auto-win because your leader is a double striker, and Kaioken is a guaranteed 6 damage in most cases. Drop negates do hurt this deck and the blockers, but you have ways to remove them with your Kaioken and Vegeta the Cruel, especially if you hold your Awakening. So you have ways to play around those cards. Cool thing is to note, so you have Saiyan Kaba is super good in this deck. It's also a Saiyan to hit off Trunks. You want to be able to play this and make sure you get to your Awakening point on your own terms if you're playing against a slow deck, like Shinron or a ramp deck, and it's really good against Toa decks because Kaioken can be hurt by Toa, but it's just really cool. And also, I have the combo in the play battle card. If you don't know what this card does, it's the same thing as Double Shot Vegeta, but your leader's green, and it's just super powerful in other mirror matches like this where your opponent is playing a passive deck where you want to counterplay. So these cards will help you in those matchups, which this will not in most cases because they'll just counterplay it. So, fun facts. A lot of times you just pass the energy open, or you play a cantrip and draw a card, or look at the top 2 and get to a Saiyan. Pretty cool. We'll note that in my original build, I was playing way too many cards, and I will show you what I was playing in my list that I played, just so you can get an idea of what you could play. If you have any questions about this deck, just comment below. I will go into detail. This is removal on your opponent's turn and on your turn. Kills Kit 4 or less if you didn't know, and it's just a pretty good card in general. It's red green. Good charge in turn 1. Same for this too, but you do need to see one of these, so you do need to make sure you draw into one, or open one, or you won't be able to have a solid win con. You can win without this card. I did win 2 games in the very early game, but I just formed the board with counterplay cards against the aggressive decks that have no counterplay cards, which Kid Ku and decks like that struggle against this card and this card. So I will decide for a 4th copy of this and a 4th copy of this, which are pretty good against those matchups. And I also decided a 2nd copy of the Forgated Grid because it's pretty good to mill. So, I did play these cards right here if you'd like to look at what I was teching in my build that I was trying out. And these cards were pretty good in certain matchups, and I will note that they were very powerful. So they're not something I wouldn't try again. I just need to make sure I get the exact ratios down. So you got the red-green Goku, which is this card right here. I played, what is he at? There he is. Faded Kaioken. So Goku, I was playing this at 3 copies. I rivaled him and play on my opponent's turn a lot of times, and then on my turn, and then I would take a life, go to 3, and gain dual attack and double strike. I won a few games like that Saturday, and it was really fun. And I also played this guy in the deck as well. So I was trying this out. It sounded super powerful against some of the meta decks like Toa, and this actually did win me my matchup against Oob. These cards are super powerful against decks that put little guys on the board and make an opponent discard 2 at their negate with like a battle card that says I negate and play, like Master Roshi or anything like that, or the announcer. Kill it, make them draw discard 2, and it's super powerful. I had a lot of fun with this version, but I did realize that this version I created here is much more powerful, and it makes a lot more sense. That's the main cards that I teched, and then I changed the ratios. I was going to tech Urgent Kami and Heroes Mafuba, but like I said, I forgot some of the cards at the house. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions on this deck or any ways you can play this strategy, you can also play with Red Green Gogeta if you guys would like to see that on the channel, or a pretty standard build for that deck, or any deck like that. Please comment below what you'd like to see next on the videos, and thank you guys for watching once again, and hope you enjoy.